Hello everyone, I'm going to try and keep this video under 20 minutes. I'm going to explain to you how to complete the membership fees account. The membership fees is the way of a club earning income. So in the membership fees account, remember you're going to get asked to complete the membership fees account. We are doing the membership fees account for 2024. In this membership fees account, on the first day of the current year, you will reverse the accrued income adjustment. That 23 stands for 2023. Remember, we're in 2024. So the first thing you do is you reverse the accrued income from 2023, the end of 2023. Now, accrued income means owing income. At the end of 2023, there were members who were in arrears with their membership fees. They had not paid, but they owed the money, and the income was earned in 2023. So on the first day of the current year, we bring that accrued income amount from the previous year into the membership fees account. Then we will see what happened to that accrued income. And of those members that were in arrears from last year, there will most probably be bad debts, and then there will also be money collected from 23 in the current year. The purpose of this membership fees account is to calculate the income earned for the current year, which is 2024 in this example. We want to know exactly what the income is that has been earned from membership fees for the current year. We only want the current year income earned, because that's going to be closed off to an account called income and expenditure, where the surplus or deficit is calculated. Now on the debit side, we bring into account income received in advance from 2023, but it actually relates to the current year. So the income received in advance in 2023 is brought into the correct period in 2024 at the start of the financial year. Then we're going to determine in this year as well income received in advance, which means we've received income in 2024 that relates to 2025. It shouldn't be in the membership fees account because we haven't earned it yet, but we've received the income in advance. We only want in this account the income earned. It doesn't necessarily have to be in received. The income earned for the period. Then in this bank account here, well, the membership fees account, we're going to receive cash, which relates to the previous year, the current year, and the future year. The future year is actually income received in advance. Then what will happen at the end of the year, we will be told that certain members are using the facility for the year. They've come into difficult times and they haven't paid us yet, but we've earned the income for their membership and it is owing to us. So we make an adjustment at the end of the year, accrued income, because that income has been earned in 2024. This year was income earned the previous year, but it's brought into account this year because we haven't received it, and we will see what happened to those members who were in arrears last year. We will see what happened to them this year. And we know that some will be bad and some will pay us. Then what we do is we total up the debit side and we total up the credit side. So the membership fees account, I would learn this as a template. Everything that can go into this account is right in front of you, except for the numbers. So now all we need to do is complete the puzzle. And it's an income account. An increase in income goes on the credit side, and a decrease in income goes on the debit side. For example, income received in advance shouldn't be shown in the current year when it relates to next year. Right, let's move on. So now we're going to complete this puzzle. You see the numbers are missing. The first thing we do is the reverse entry. So you will be given a summary of balances on the first day of the year or the last day of the previous financial year. But you see accrued income is 2,000. Now we do a reverse entry. So accrued income I have showed you in the previous video, so I'm not going to show you again with T accounts. But to get rid of that balance there, we go and credit accrued income with 2,000 and we debit membership fees with 2,000, and that is the outstanding membership fees from the previous year. Then what we need to do is we need to reverse the adjustment from last year. Income received in advance in 23 was actually meant to be in 2024. So we debit income received in advance and we credit membership fees with 1,250. That is called reverse entries. We reverse the adjustments at the end of 2023 that were made with regard to membership fees. There was 2,000 Rand outstanding and we had received last year 1,250 Rand for this year. So we've brought those adjustments into account. Now it says here only 75% of the members, 75% of the members who were in arrears at the beginning of the year paid in the current year. So 75% of those members from the previous year that still owed us, they paid us. So we need to record this bank amount. 75% of 2,000 is 1,500. And 25% need to be written off. So the 25% is bad debts. And that entry for bad debts is debit bad debts and credit membership fees. This is not an increase in income, but what's happening is this 2,000 Rand owing income at the end of last year is being dealt with. So what happened to the members that owed us at the end of last year? 75% paid us and 25% went bad. So this 1,500 plus the 500 tells us what happened with the accrued income from the previous year with all those members who were in arrears. We received 75% of what was owed and 25% was bad. So I haven't put this 1,500 into that amount yet because we want the money from the previous year, the current year, and what we've received from members, which relates to next year, the future. So they are dealt with number 3, and the accrued income, all those members that were in arrears from last year. This year, we're looking at the number of members. At the beginning of the financial year, they told us there were 150 members. It stays 150 members, except for the bad debts and the new members. So 25%, as you saw in the previous slide, of 2,000 relates to the fees that were in arrears from the previous year. Members owed us, it was that accrued income amount. So 25% of 2,000 is actually 500. We already did the bad debt, but I want to know how many members the 500 represents. So I divide by the membership fee, which is 250, and that gives me 2 members. So we had 150 members. 2 now were bad, which we've calculated from the bad debts amount divided by the membership fees amount, 250. Then they tell us over here 15 new members joined. So 150 members from point 2 less the 2 written off plus the 15 is equal to 163. So for the current year, we have 163 members that we are earning income from. And the purpose of this account is to establish the income earned from membership fees. So the income earned is 163 multiplied by 250 is 40,750. So now we've done the accrued income, we've done the income received in advance, and we've seen how many members we've got for the current year and what the income should be for membership fees, what we've earned for the current year. Then it says on the 31st of December, 7 members had paid their fees for the following year. Now that is income received in advance. That income relates to 2025. It must be taken out of membership fees. So membership fees gets debited, and I'm not doing this account income received in advance. It would get credited. 7 members had paid their fees for the following year. So it's income received in advance, debit membership fees, and credit income received in advance, but we're only doing the membership fees account. Then I must also add this because it's going to make up, it's part of the bank balance, it's part of the cash that we've received for membership fees. We received this in 2024, which is our current year. It relates to the next year, but any cash that we receive, if it's from the previous year, the current year, or the future year, in the current year, we must record in the membership fees account, because we will do an adjustment for it anyway. Income or cash that has been received in advance, there we did it. And also at the end of the year, income that we haven't yet received will be accrued income. So there was 1,750 that we received in this year, and it relates to next year. So we do an adjustment, debit membership fees, credit income received in advance. 14 minutes. Let me get going quicker. So this 1,750 must also be year under bank. So we've got 1,500 that we received out of those people that still owed us in the current year. Now 1,750 relates to next year. So let's move on. Now bank, they say in the additional information, membership fees received for the current year amounts to 37,000. So we've got the previous year, which was 1,500, and we've got money received that relates to next year. So everything that was banked, debit, bank, credit, membership fees, comes to 40,250, consisting of 1,500 from the outstanding amount from the previous year. 37,000 they just tell us was banked for the current year, membership fees for the current year. 1,750 was received by members or from members for next year. You add those three amounts together and you get 40,250. In the exam, mention those three amounts. Just list them individually. You can even do it in brackets before you write down the total. So that is the bank amount on the credit side. Money that was received for membership fees. Some from last year, most from this year, and some for next year. Now, excuse me, this is important. Income earned is equal to, the income earned is the money that we've received during the current year, plus the 1,250 that was received in advance in the previous year, because it relates to this year. The income earned actually was only earned. The money that we received in 2023 was only earned in 2024. That's why this adjustment is brought into the membership fees in the current account. So income earned of 40,750 is equal to 37,000, the cash received, plus the income received in advance at the beginning of the year, plus accrued income. Now at this stage we don't know, we actually didn't know that, what the accrued income was. We'd solved for everything else except for the accrued income. They don't give us too much detail there, but we can work it out. So if I make accrued income the subject of the formula, we're going to be left with income earned minus the cash received for the current year less the income received in advance gives me what? The accrued income. This year, this last little figure takes a bit of time to grasp. So accrued income is 2,500. Now if you wanted to, you could have gone and, like I've mentioned before, total that up. The two totals should be the same. The accrued income will be the balancing figure, which makes the two sides equal. So you can say the total minus the bad debts, minus the bank account, minus the income received in advance will give you 2,500. So there are two ways. But in a perfect world, it would be nice to understand that income earned is equal to the bank amount for the current year plus the income earned on members who paid us in advance last year plus owing money to us that we've earned but the members have not yet paid us. Then I make accrued income the subject of the formula, and if let's say if I took this year across the 37,000 and the 1,250, it's minus. There it is, minus, and that gives you 2,500 for accrued income. You don't have to put 24, but I just put it there, so it gives you some clarity on what years the information relates to. But the accrued income there was for the current year, owing income, 19 minutes. So what's left to do? You can total up both sides, and that is your membership fees account. This year is the income earned for the current year with regard to membership fees after you've made all these adjustments. I hope you get full marks for this in your exam. You're going to have to write it out, so you're going to have to keep your wits about you. But it is easy marks if you have done it 5 times, and you must focus on understanding it, because then it makes life a lot easier. Like, how do we get this bank amount? Once you've done this 3 or 4 times, you're going to be good to go. Yeah, after that, we need a little bit of a laugh. Okay, chat soon. Cheers, bye.